Hello, I am back. Why was I gone for so long? Well, college is a thing, and also, I'm just really lazy. Anyways, last year I made a list for my most anticipated films of 2022, and now that year has officially passed. I tried looking for more potentially great films like last year, but unfortunately they're probably going to be the obvious choices in the long run. Now before we start, here are some honorable mentions. Knock at the Cabin, Megan, Scream 6, Maxine, Cocaine Bear, Roosevelt, Oppenheimer, The Roundup, No Way Out, Next Goal Wins, The Super Mario Bros. Movie, and Chicken Run 2, Dawn of the Nugget. And without further ado, let's begin this list.
Worm sign.
Remember my 2021 video where I said I was going to read the book? Well, I didn't do that, nor do I feel like reading it. But I did watch the David Lynch adaptation earlier this year, so I think I have a solid idea of what's going to happen in this film, just with better CGI and a longer runtime. Outside of that, Dune was pretty cool, and I'm excited to see what they'll do for this century.
I have to go.
One of the films from last year's list that's also on this list. I'm still looking forward to this two-part finale as much as I was then. And hopefully it'll be just as good, if not better, than Fallout.
Oh shit, that's me!
Look, I know this has a chance of being bad, but growing up I never saw anyone on screen who shares the same skin color or ethnicity as me. And with films like Coco, Black Panther 2, and now Blue Beetle, people like me are finally being shown on screen without being reduced to offensive stereotypes or having white people in brown face. And the fact that the main character is a Mexican superhero who's played by Xolo Maridueña from Cobra Kai, and it's gonna be in theaters? Sign me up.
The white look, full moon. Oh no, Jesse.
It's a Wes Anderson movie. Do I really need to explain why it's on here? Outside of these set photos and the small plot description that we have, this cast is stacked with Margot Robbie, Maya Hawke, Bryan Cranston, Sophia Lillis, and Tony Revolori. But yeah, genuinely looking forward to this. Sounds promising enough.
You can pack your things and leave. There's the door. There's the door, bitch!
Despite my thoughts on the MCU and how critical I've been with it recently because of the crap they put out these past 2 years. But this is promising. Unlike most superhero directors, James Gunn actually cares about making these films. And with what James Gunn is saying, with this being his swan song with Marvel, it's sad, but hopefully he can end it on a high note.
You smell like blood.
Epic.
If you were to tell 15-year-old me that I would enjoy Martin Scorsese's filmography, I think I'd laugh in your face. But in the past year, I've been watching Scorsese's filmography and gaining respect for him and his accomplishments. If only people could do the same thing. Anyways, it's being released on Apple TV+, which sucks because I'd actually like to see his films on the big screen instead of on my TV.
Two guys just walked up to me and called me cringe.
If you don't know, this film is about a 15-year-old kid named Junichi and his uncle as they move to a new neighborhood, where Junichi deals with spiritual growth, bullying, poverty, education, work, courage, and how to live as a human being. After Earwig and the Witch, it's nice seeing that the 3D animation style from that film isn't here to stay. Also, it's a Studio Ghibli film directed by Hayao Miyazaki. Do I really need to say much?
Ryan, hi! Still not ready.
Whoa, what's the rush, Barbie? Take time to enjoy the Ryan.
As an enjoyer of dolls and girly pop bubblegum chick flick movies, Barbie genuinely looks really good. Outside of its perfect casting with Margot Robbie and Ryan Gosling as Barbie and Ken respectively. I mean, look at this film. Is it not already a masterpiece? Jokes aside, I'm actually pretty excited for this film. Although I do have my worries for this film. This year, 2022, I saw both live-action Bratz and Monster High movies, to which they failed to accurately portray the absurdity of the cartoons they're trying to adapt. But judging by this trailer and how good Barbie Land looks, I just hope the wait is worth it. Who am I kidding? It'll definitely be worth it.
Spider Pig, does whatever a Spider Pig does.
If you've seen my previous video, you already know my thoughts on it. In short, while I am excited for this film, I am cautiously optimistic. It's a sequel to my favorite movie of all time, so I'm a little worried about how this will turn out. And judging by the poster and the trailer, and the news that has been revealed, Spider-Punk and 2099 aren't the only characters appearing in this film. Judging by the poster, we actually get to see possible continuations of the Spider-Man from the other universes, like Spectacular Spider-Man. I literally thought we'd never be able to see him again after the MCU deal. This is also the first time we'll see Jessica Drew, Mayday Parker, Ben Reilly, Cyborg Spider-Woman, and Mexican Spider-Man outside of the comics, and it just makes me excited to think about who else will appear in this film. Even if this film isn't as good as the first film, it'll at least be good from an animation standpoint.
We're going back in time. That's right! We're going back in time.
This is another film that has a chance of being bad. Indiana Jones 4, while I personally enjoyed it, left a poor taste in people's mouths. But finally, we're getting this film after so many delays and radio silence. It's okay to be worried about this film. I mean, I am too. But the thing is that Harrison Ford, at 78 years old, wouldn't have agreed to be a part of this film if it was bad. There's also the guy who's directing it, James Mangold, who also directed 2017's Logan. Do you think he would be a part of this project if the film was bad? I'd also like to read a quote that Mangold said about the time travel present in this film. It became really important to me to figure out how to make this movie about a hero at sunset. He said that Jones' age would be a major part of the film, something that was touched upon only briefly in earlier drafts. The issues that I brought up about Indy's age were not things I thought were being addressed in the material being developed at the time. There were old jokes, but the material itself wasn't about it. To me, whatever your greatest liability, you should fly straight towards that. And if you pretend it's not there, you end up getting slings and arrows the whole way. So yeah, even if this film ends up being okay or bad, this is probably the most I've ever cared about a release in a major franchise. It also comes out on my birthday, so I'm kinda biased with this spot on the list. So yeah, that's really it. I'll see you in another video. Hopefully.